now we're happy because we're having a fun project on hand. That might change in the next hours depending on what we're dealing with. What we're doing today is the rear disc brake conversion on Corolla. Actually, if we can get two done today, that'd be awesome, but I'll start with this one. Removing the disc brake, the wheel bearing, because I need to change the back plate, and then installing all of the new goodies. So, we need to start removing the wheel. We might need to hit. We're good. Oh crap out. Sorry. Here's the worst part. Apparently that's a mechanic's worst nightmare. Ooh. The screws, the little springs pin, so we can remove the shoes, remove the bearing, and then the back plate. The other thing we'll have to do, I'll clean this off a little bit, but we'll have to undo this brake line here to be able to connect our new. Doing the same thing on the other one. The little blind spot. Remove the rust. Now it's spinning freely. I can turn the pin inside the little washer and get it out. So it's basically three-part mechanism. There's a little cup washer, a spring, and then your pin with a tip. And then what you do is you compress the spring with the pin aligned. Then you turn it quarter turn.
Clockwise, counterclockwise?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You just, it needs to be basically 90 degrees from where it was, just to lock it in place. And then the spring does its job. So the spring compresses those two on the back. But they can still move freely side to side. Well, not that much, but I'm still on the springs for taking the shoes off. One up top, one on the bottom. We won't reuse that, so it's not too much of a problem. And then there's this other one in the back. I could usually slide those out, but I don't care. Take the spring out. This is your handbrake cable. This is your adjuster for your brake.
Just
so when they get used,
yeah.
When they get used, there's a little ratcheting mechanism that's following. It's here. It's following here, and that little arm ratchets this screw up and down. So basically it screws it outwards. So it extends the distance between the top. So you always have minimal space between your shoes and your disc, your drum. So that's for the handbrake. We just take that right here, pull it out. And same thing when we'll insert the new one, we just pull it back in right there. So next thing I think will be the 4 bolts for the wheel bearing.
What nuts? Those are going to be taken by hand?
No,
or by impact?
Impact, and I think it'll be 12. I'm undoing the 4 bolts here and here. So those two and those while I undid this one. Those two. Nice. Let's go back. For the last one, I'll need the second.
Dude!
For the last one, I'll need the second.
Dude! Non, fais semblant que tu le fais. Fais semblant que tu le fais. Fais semblant que t'en fais un autre.
What I'm trying to do is shake off the layer of rust that's in between both the parts. So, we needed to put the brakes anyway. What I'll try to do is spin it inside before trying to take it off. So I'll start on the corner here. Oh, I think it already moved. I think that did not too bad. Those aren't the best nuts to that, but probably also shave this. It's gonna be strong enough. Fast. As much as I can. It's not leverage. No, it shouldn't be too bad. Nope, but we're coming out slowly. Give us the chances we can. More side motion, maybe. Progress. Right, that side here. I think you'll need to come around. Because that side, there's a tiny crack on the bottom. I don't know if you can see the shadow. And that side, it's more than a tiny crack. We're getting at it. We have about 1/8 of an inch on this side. So, I'm pretty sure next I'll need a 10mm ratchet.
Oh, I know what that is. It's on my dash.
Oh no, the old brake line.
Oh, yes. Dude, you want this?
Okay, we're gonna make a ramen or something or toast. Just singing in the rain.
Carry on singing, because your brake light just undid, your brake hose, brake line, not light, just undid miraculously well.
the best rain ever! Woohoo! Holy shit!
We just missed it. The sky like opens. The sky opens with like a significant
Yeah. They don't want you to go up.
sky gods.
Holy shit!
You're soaked. Smile for the camera.
Glad I have a roof over me.
J'ai pas compris ce que t'as dit, plus trop fort.
I'm glad I have a roof over me.
Yes. Right now, I'm so happy we came inside the garage. Like, we would have been really fucked.
Oh yeah.
Like the cat was fucked the other night. The two cats.
This. That's good. Pretty sure we can even reuse them.
What is it you took out?
I took the clips for the brake brackets we won't use. Well, this one we'll reuse, but it'll be our new brake line. Here. Connected there, straight to your line.
Perfect. That sounds like a really good idea. Now let's disconnect it, cut it.
We basically bolted the wheel bearing, sandwiching the back plate
With
the bracket
the
for
impact.
the caliper. Yeah, everything is bolted. We'll have to remove the shoes because that was just a pre-assembly. Lube everything up, put the handbrake in through the back, and then I have to deal with the brake hose that goes up to the caliper. But that's pretty much it. Swap mostly done.
And how much time did it take you? Like, how long did this take you? No,
Maybe
An
like
hour.
An hour. 2
An
hours,
hour.
yeah.
yeah. To take it off and install. So right now the fluid is connected, but it's leaking.
Well, it's not completely connected yet.
Okay, it's not connected.
I'm
okay.
working on that.
Okay. Okay.
Because those fittings are weird.
So we're gonna have to because of that. Do we need to bleed the brakes?
Oh yes, absolutely. Every time you undo a fluid fitting, you let air in, you need to bleed the brakes. If you would have just unbolted the caliper and bolted it back without undoing the hose, you wouldn't have had to. But we're obviously not just load oosted.
3 heures de survie.
Just every 20-minute job is one bolt away of being a 3-day ordeal.
Là, quand tu vas avoir fini de faire ça, on peut peser sur stop la vidéo.
On
C'est
oublie.
comblé, ouais, c'est ça.
What? Oh. Put the clip back in now. Where did I put it? Ah.
Filme ça, puis stop, puis après ça, on va peser sur stop. Rapproche-toi si tu peux. De ses mains.
Everything is a hammer when you're dumb enough. And finishing tightening up. Where did I put
Quoi ça?
my open end wrench? Here. Finishing up this. And we're on with bleeding. That should be tight enough. I did this side yesterday. The parking brake enters here in the back. You'll see better on the other side. That's what we have to install today on the left side. I need to basically, those units were dry fit when I bolted it to the car. And guess we can go on the other side. So yesterday I got a little further. I got this line, well that's just the sheeting around it. But I got this line connected here without leaks, connected here. I got the caliper on. I cleaned all inside, greased everything up. So the surface mounting are clean too, pads too. I'll need to pull the pins out, remove the springs, pull the pins out to put grease, well, easy slide on those pins. What I built, basically, because that was just to see if everything would fit together. And if you've seen my Instagram, you've probably seen that I did modify these to fit. So, yeah, basically today...
What did you modify? Sorry?
Yeah, I can show it to you, in a second. Take the springs out. I feel like the other side went better. Oh, I have something to check on the other side, though. So, one spring. Try to get the second one here. If I can get on that corner now. Alright. Second spring. And there's this little tab. That will be part of the explanation. I did show it kind of well on my Instagram before I even put them on the car, so that'll be a more detailed explanation. Down with the adjuster. See, everything is dry just to see if it would fit, so we need to grease that up. And then next step is the pins. So same as the other side, same principle as the cup ones, but those aren't cups. Still, you have to do a 90-degree turn. These are just little spring tabs, basically. Same principle of pin with a little T head. So the handbrake goes in this, the shoe goes in there, so the handbrake goes. Oh, it's not even bolted on the other side, but whatever. I think I'll bolt it first. I'll need to remove the other shoe. right, second clip out. Good. So now we're basically at the point of installing the caliper on this side, the last side. Yep. I don't need too much. I just need to have a nice layer all the way, because this will live in the metal bushing. I don't want it to be seized next time I have to do brakes. I'd have to buy a whole new caliper because that one bolt is seized through. So now, no bend in our new brake line. The perfect amount when it's installed. I think the short, big, oh, I forgot a step of the conversion.
The money.
Forgot it. Forgot a step. Take that back. Should have been before the handbrake, but it won't budge. Because we can't put the lower bolt for the caliper if the bracket is there. So eventually we'll come back with a grinder and just cut it flat. Grinder, sawzall, whatever. But yeah. Now we can go back, putting the caliper pre-assembled dry in its place, and next we'll have to lube it because everything was dry. We just did the shoes and the handbrake. Top one is in. Bottom one, not quite. Ah. Needed to go up a little. Take the 14. And the 17. I have to do it from down here. Our caliper is mounted. Now the next step is to lube the pad, clean the pads, and all of that. Nope. Doing that one shot, one clip.
What are you pulling out?
2 clips. Those are the clips that retain your pads from shaking, and this is the clips that retain your pins from coming out. And see how easy it is? One pad there, second pad there. See how fast it is? I'll give you the springs for now. So now all I have to do is pins can go there. See, on my front pad, I want to cover this basically. So I'll take a little bit of that and I'll do just to prevent vibrations and things like that, rust to build up there, and where the pin will go.
Slide?
Yes. So this is the front one. I'll actually set it there, and right before I slide them in, we'll clean the faces. And here, the back one with the screamer, I'll do a little circle where the piston from my caliper hits. Same principle, prevents rust buildup and the pads from screaming. Then I'll take a rag, cleaning off the surface, well, not the right side, but just the surface that's gonna break. And then I'll just drop it, not completely down, just so it holds there. And I'll do the same for my back pad. See, I'm gonna even add a little bit near the pins. Don't want those holes to rust and seize up. Better do that before you clean them. You don't need to be as careful. And then a bit of that, a little bit of that. See, all clean. So now this one slides in the back there. That was a pad change basically. I need to lube the pins. Again, these don't need much. They'd only need to have the surface they meet. One. Ta-da! And then time for the springs. Start with this tricky one. You might want to align your holes if you know where they're gonna go. Because I don't know if you've seen in the pins, there's a little hole where the spring attach. So this one goes in the little hole. This one will need to do. It's not the best tool for the job, but I got the job done. So see those two little holes there. And there's a little, I found it tricky at first because I never encountered this before, but those little springs just go under the pin, over, and then back into the middle. So same with this one. Under the pin, I'll put this one in behind to give a little bit more space. So behind, and I think I'll actually use the pliers for this one. Oops. Okay. And the hole. So see, now everything is tight in place, greased up. You only have to put fluid up front because our lines, we just completely opened the circuits. Our lines are empty. So we're just gonna top that off a little bit higher than what you want it to be running. Oh, there's still the little screen.
So you're filling it up and bleeding your burrs right now. This is the step.
Yeah, I'm just filling it up right now. Bleeding is the next step, but while bleeding, we'll have to periodically check if the level is fine. Because if the level drops too low, now you introduce new air in your lines, and then you have to bleed all over again. So I'd rather put a little bit more at the beginning, since I know I opened both the rear lines, so there is definitely air in the system. The tank was empty, like it just drained into a pan for a couple hours yesterday. So
How much do you think you put in right now?
maybe half a pint periodically. So see, our level is higher about here. Then the max is usually the bar right here. See the fluid move? Our level line is right here. The max usually is at this line. So unless I see another, yeah. Oh, that's the minimum. The max is actually here on the neck. So we still have a little bit to go.
Question, when you have a leak, is this also the same place you're gonna look if the levels?
Yeah. Yeah, that's your level, basically.
So if you have a leak, this would be the place to see how much you're leaking.
For the brake leaks, yeah. All right. Put more than the max. The max is at the neck anyway.
Perfect.
I know we're gonna pour some out in the bleeding process.
Okay, cool.
This unit, the matrix shocks,
Fit inside this car.
they have the same mounting point, but the coils are slightly thicker. So that gives you a little bit more of a ride height when you're loaded. A little bit more of a... Time to move. Tu peux remettre le bouchon. Move the jack stands. And Cowabunga! This is how it looks on the ground. Sneak on Steelies. Can't wait to see it on my car with the 16.